I have never bought a game off the CEX website. Something that is often pointed out to me in my comment section. I am able to go on the CEX website, find the game I want, and then order it. Because of course I mention a lot that certain CEXs don't have what I want, or they had this game and then when I went there they didn't have it anymore and they sold it. And then of course that leads people to jump into the comments and give me advice, which is solid advice, just go online and order it. And I do watch the odd video here or there where people do this CEX lottery, where they order a retro game and then of course they open it on camera to see if the condition is acceptable to them. And I do find that a little bit interesting. It is a little bit stupid because yes, it is the lottery, but you can just take it back to the store, whereas the actual lottery, you buy a ticket, if it doesn't win, I can't just take it back. Introducing the FlexiSpot standing desk. Thank you to FlexiSpot for reaching out and sponsoring today's video. This is the perfect solution for anyone who wants to work smarter and feel better. With a sleek and adjustable design, you can easily switch between sitting and standing. Pre-programmable modes make it easy to switch between standing and sitting. With more than enough space for 2 monitors and even a laptop, you could literally be playing 3 games at the same time, while standing of course, and keeping that circulation moving. I never thought I'd use the standing desk to be fair, but since having one, I find myself using it at least 2 or 3 times a day in the standing position. If you're interested in the FlexiSpot standing desk, you can click the link in the description. And once again, thank you to FlexiSpot for sponsoring today's video. But with that being said, I'm fully aware that I can buy things online, but for me personally, the thrill of building a game collection doesn't just lie in collecting the games, it's how I collect them. I will get the odd thing on Vinted because some things are just too good to pass up on. For example, I picked up Sifu on the PS5, which is a fantastic game by the way if you haven't played it, for a fraction of the price that you can get it in CEX. It was complete in very good condition, and often in CEX they're not complete, and that does mean that of course I wouldn't want to pick it up. And in fact there are countless games I could pull off the shelf and give you a backstory to, the ones that I got off Vinted because they were just that good a deal. Switch games on Vinted, for example, are fantastic. I would say 25 to 30% of my Switch library has actually come from Vinted. Mario Kart new and sealed for less than 15 quid. This Disney Classic Games collection for less than a tenner. Super Mario Odyssey for less than 15. And the list would just go on and on. But for me, even though I'm chuffed to be able to add those games to the collection at the price that I've added them for, there's just something a little bit unsatisfying about ordering something online and then just waiting for it to show up. The feeling of walking into a physical store or indeed a car boot sale is that much more satisfying. My most recent pickup, and in fact my most recent Switch pickup, is Turrican on the Switch. Now this was effectively around £10 in a boot sale in one of my most recent videos. It was new and sealed, and to see it there in a car boot sale on someone's stall was magnificent. If I saw that on Vinted for £8 plus postage, yeah, it would be a good deal. Would I have bought it? Probably. But I won't have the same feeling of buying it on Vinted and waiting for it, or eBay or wherever it may be, as I have done from picking it up in a boot sale. I will always remember where I got this game, not necessarily the day or the date or anything, but I'll remember the situation and the scenario. I don't remember the scenario of me picking up Mario Kart on Vinted. I can't remember seeing the listing. I can't remember what I was thinking at the time. It's just something that happens and I just went through the motions. And everybody is different of course, because not everyone will feel the same. Those of you who buy games through the CEX website are probably not as attached to the feeling of finding something in the wild as someone like me is, for example. That's not a bad thing, that's just the way you collect, and that's perfectly fine. But for me, finding things in the wild, and indeed just in physical stores in general, so much more satisfying. Price aside, of course, because I'm not saying, oh, I'd much rather find a deal than pay retail, because I'm sure everyone would. But what I mean by that is, I would rather go into a retro video game store that has almost price matched CEX and buy it from them than I would order it online. And it's exactly the same with CEX itself. I'd rather go into CEX and buy it from the shelf. I can look at the condition there and then, and I can take it home with me, as opposed to ordering it online, because I don't find that to be anywhere near as enjoyable. Those of you who don't feel the same won't understand, and that's fine again, because I think I was as well before I started collecting video games. I didn't really understand half of it and why people did certain things, like those who collect sealed games. I didn't understand it, but now I kind of do, but that's for another video. And that's why I kind of want to go to physical stores and buy my games. It's not just the thrill of the hunt, of course, but it is helping out a smaller business. I myself, as a small business, appreciate it when people buy things off me, so why not return the favour? Now, of course, it's a little bit different because you could do this online, of course, but you can add the thrill of the hunt while supporting your local business. And then we can move on to the likes of building relationships with local businesses as well, because I'm sure if you shop regularly at a certain local business who deal in video games, the more often that you visit, the more often they're likely to maybe cut you a deal here or there. But again, that could be for a different video. But the question of this video is going to be, are you the type of person who will see a game online and think, yeah, that's a reasonable price, but I'll wait. I'll wait to pick it up in a physical store because then I'll get that rush of finding it. Or are you the opposite of that and you're just like, I don't care how I get the game, I just want the game. I'm going to order anything and everything I can online. There's no correct way to collect video games and there's no incorrect way to collect video games, despite what some people may think. So let me know in the comment section which side of the fence you fall on. And of course, there are going to be some people who are perched very much on the top of that fence and who sort of double dip. Yes, you like to find things in stores, but if you see it online, it doesn't really bother you and you'll order it. I am kind of on that fence, like I will get things online, like I've mentioned before, I find many a thing on Vinted, but I would much rather find it in a physical store. If you want to see another video from me where I do find things in physical stores, you can click here, and until the next time, goodbye.